If I may, I'd like to call to order the April 28, 2026 meeting of the High Point Regional High School Board of Education. Please stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open Public Meetings Act statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the district's official website on the Public Notices webpage, as well as posting at the Augusta, Branchville, and Sussex post offices and the clerk of the boroughs of Branchville and Sussex in the townships of Frankfort, Lafayette, and Wantage. I noticed the change in there. Excellent. Our mission statement. High Point Regional High School, in partnership with staff, family, and community, is dedicated to the quest for individual excellence. By fostering high standards of achievement, we prepare students to become responsible and productive members of a diverse society. May I ask for attendance roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Ms. Longberg? Here. Ms. Diaz? Here. Ms. Stackis?
Here.
Ms. Gall? Here. Mr. Van Stone?
Here.
Ms. Hill? Ms. Wise? Mr. Dunn?
Here.
Dr. Ripley?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Do have a quorum. I'm just going to note for the public, due to the resignation of Wantage Representative Allison Horsey effective April 20th, 2026, the High Point Regional High School Board of Education is now accepting letters of intent along with a resume from interested residents of Wantage to fill the vacancy for the period ending December 31st, 2026. To qualify for this Board of Ed vacancy, individuals must be a resident of Wantage for at least 1 year, be a citizen of the United States of America, be at least 18 years of age, be able to read and write, and be a registered voter in Wantage, New Jersey. Letters and resumes should be sent to the board secretary and received by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 to be considered. This vacancy will also be posted on the district website and in the Wantage Municipal Building. As such, it's not on our agenda, but I need to make a motion, I guess, to ask for nominations for the position of vice president, now that we also have that position unoccupied. So I'd like to make a motion to ask for those. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or discussion or nominations at this point?
I nominate Lara Longberg.
Any other nominations from the floor? Okay, with just a single nomination then, I will make a motion to have Lara Longberg enter as the Vice President of the High Point Board of Education for the remaining term this year. Can I have it? Well, I guess she has to accept that, right? I should ask her to accept that first.
Thank you, I'll accept it.
So I have that motion, that's with a second?
Second.
Okay, so now she accepts. Given that, I'll ask for a roll call on that motion.
Okay, Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Passes. Did I miss
That was
something?
it?
Did I count everybody right?
Yes. Right, even with the reduced numbers, right?
Yes, we're.
Well, Ms. Longberg, you can relocate when we come back, okay?
Feel awkward to get up now.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats. That behind us, a motion will now be made that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education enter executive session to provide an update on legal, personnel, and negotiations items which are exempt from public participation pursuant to New Jersey Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Any discussions held by the board which need not remain confidential will be made public when appropriate. Minutes of the executive session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session in person and virtually at the conclusion of the executive session. It is not anticipated that any action will be taken, and we expect that we will return at approximately 7 p.m. I'll make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a motion to return to public session, please.
Motion.
Motion in a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, return to public session. May I have approval of minutes? I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from March 24, 2026, and the executive session minutes of March 24th, 2026. I'll make that motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Any comments, corrections on those? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a roll call.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longworth?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackus?
Abstain.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Anstone?
Yes.
Ms. Hill? Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Our first public comment section of the evening on agenda items only. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, we will open the public comments at this time. Each speaker should state his or her name and address. You will have 3 minutes to address the board, which will be timed by myself. We will limit this section to no longer than 45 minutes. Please be respectful and mindful that your comments are being recorded. And as usual, we have 2 methods to address the board, one in person and one virtual. If there are no in-person comments, I do have one set of comments to read that was submitted earlier to our virtual platform. Give me 1 second, please. Find that. And, okay, it came via email. The writer is not identified in the email, nor is the location of the writer. I will just mention, is it on top? It's just the email address, right?
It should have a name right next to the email address.
Yes, so, but I don't know if that was the writer or not, or just.
No, that is.
That is the writer, okay. So it came from Isabella Fett. Please consider keeping Mr. O at our school is the title. Good morning. I wanted to reach out because I know the recent budget cuts mean making some very difficult decisions about staff. I understand that everyone brings something valuable to our school, but I truly believe that cutting Mr. O would be a significant loss. Mr. O is not just a teacher who comes to work for a paycheck. He genuinely cares about his students and goes above and beyond to make sure each of us is taught in a way that works best for us. He adapts his teaching style to meet each student's needs, recognizing that everyone learns differently. Mr. O is always on top of his work with students, reminding us to keep up with assignments, and even helps us stay organized with daily action plans and reminders about work for other classes. The only reason why I'm taking academic support again was because I thought Mr. O would be the teacher. Beyond the classroom, Mr. O also coaches several sports teams. I am confident that if he stays, he will continue to support students not just academically, but also through coaching and mentoring in sports. His dedication to our schools and students is truly unique, and he has had a positive impact on so many of us. Anyone who knows Mr. O speaks highly of him. He creates a welcoming environment and always motivates us to do our best. I sincerely hope that after reading this, you will reconsider the decision to cut Mr. O and recognize the difference he makes every day at our school. Thank you for your time and consideration. Have a great day. That being the only virtual comment and none others in the room, I'll entertain a motion to close public comments.
I'll make it.
In a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. Moving on to presentations. First up, Dr. Ripley. But prior to the public hearing on the final budget, I believe he has another announcement.
You know, I don't know if we all remember from our own childhood, but perhaps when you were a parent and sent your children off onto that school bus, and the trust and the moment of truth to watch your child smile and wave to you as you let them go off to school, and the gut-wrenching moment that was, and the trust that you placed in that bus driver. Well, we have exceptional bus drivers, and today, April 28, 2026, is School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. And we want to say thank you to our bus drivers. The Office of School Bus Safety would like to recognize the school bus drivers in the state of New Jersey for their hard work and dedication to the job. Thank you for keeping all our students safe during the transportation process. Happy School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Thank you to all of our drivers and all the drivers of our sending districts and all those who drive a school bus for your commitment as educators. And I mean that. And I say that and I can see my little boy with his big pen in the window. My wife took a picture of him on the bus and he's just waving, and I didn't realize how quickly those moments would pass. So those of you who have little ones, cherish that. You're like, yeah. It's really hard. I understand. So we're also here this evening to hear about the proposed budget as was discussed last month in the preliminary budget. But here's a presentation of the allocation of those resources. One of the things that's very important that the board and the community recognize that at its core, this budget protects, assures, ensures, and focuses on the student experience. We are all here for the student experience. And we are all here also to be good stewards of that which has been placed into our responsibility by the trust of our community. And those resources are increasingly scarce. We hear often about the nature of school funding and how it's changed and how it has reduced funding to our community, to our county, and that many schools have seen significant cuts in state aid. It doesn't mean that there is equitable distribution of those state aid dollars across the state, but it does demonstrate that High Point and our local communities have seen a reduction in state aid. And some of you may be saying, yes, but didn't you increase state aid this year? Well, we'll get to that. So here, our budget, as you see there, preserves programs while managing federal and state aid reduction responsibly. We did see significant cuts in federal funding. Significant. Now, I'm not whining about that. I'm presenting to you the issues without just, these are the facts. And we did see significant reduction in federal monies. We did see a marginal increase in state aid. And so we'll get to that in a second. All right. So, tax levy increase of 3.9%. See, I don't go right to the general fund, which I could because we did reduce spending, by the way. So while it does say an increase of the tax levy is 3.9%, and that is not insignificant. I'm not avoiding it. I acknowledge that 3.9% is uncomfortable, perhaps disquieting for some. However, we have reduced spending in this budget, meaning our general fund budget, the budget that has been placed before you for overall spending, and is less than it was last year, in spite of the fact that the tax levy has gone up 3.9%. So what does that mean? That means we're getting less revenue from state and federal monies. And so to maintain the integrity of our facilities, of our programs, of our staffing, of the student experience, more money has to come from the local community, even as we continue to cut the operating budget. So you see here, budget priorities, academic programs, staffing, co-curricular activities, athletics, professional development, and other essential operations like transportation, which, by the way, in High Point, it's not a small piece of the pie. A facility that the community takes great pride in our facility. Anytime we have visitors, anytime we have someone come and observe and look and visit what we have at High Point, it is a source of great pride. And I remember anytime we've ever done a survey of the community, one of the motifs is that there is a tremendous degree of pride in our facilities. And we, as stewards of those facilities, must make very difficult decisions. And so to ensure the student experience, not just the student experience for this fiscal budget, but for the student experience for the next 20, 30, 40 years, we must be good stewards of those facilities placed in our trust. Tax impact factors. Each community will experience a mild or to some degree, we're not really certain because those numbers have not been clearly communicated to us, So as I'll get to that, that slide that I typically have as to how much a $200,000 home would see an increase or a decrease, those numbers are not clearly defined sufficient enough for me to feel confident to provide for those numbers. And so we see that though the tax implications on our communities are based upon a rolling student enrollment over 3 years and equalized property valuations and income determined by the NJDOE. All right, where are the tax dollars to go? Now, I thought this looked really good on my screen in my office. Clearly, from afar, it does not. Thankfully, I put those numbers on the right. As you can see, 70% of our costs, of our fixed costs, are, well, salaries and benefits. And so as we've managed diminishing resources over the last 8+ years, much of that has come from managing our staffing numbers and needs efficiently and effectively. And so as I say frequently, during those 8 years, we have not reduced staff for the purpose of having to cut budgets. We have managed the reduction in staff, and we've reduced significantly over those years. I think it's 27.5 certificated educators during those 8 years. We have reduced through retirements or people leaving, and so we've had to be very strategic in making those decisions. All right, then we see transportation, 14%, and that's not going to go down. That's not going to go down. As a matter of fact, that 14% when it's audited might be 18%, depending on what happens elsewhere in the world. Special ed tuition, another increasing fixed cost. Well, not fixed in that we have no ability to, we have to respond to that. We can't dictate those numbers. All right, when I speak about transportation, we have the best transportation coordinator in the business, and I feel very confident that we are efficient and lean in the capacity and the allocation of those funds. Supplies, materials, text, 6%. I'm not a fan of textbooks, but I guess to some degree it's a necessary expenditure. Purchase services and vocational school tuition, I will bring that up later on. Next, budget appropriations. What does that mean? Where is the money coming from? As you can see here, our general fund. When I talk about the general fund, that's our spending. Last year was this year is this. As you can see, it is a reduction year over year of 100 and whatever that number is. I can't see it from here. Anybody can anybody see that? You're all laughing at me. He says, of course I can see it. What is your problem? I don't know. All right. So you can see we've lowered spending by $198,000. However, there's more to the story. Here is that reference to what I was talking about, the reduction of federal monies, federal grants, IDEA, ESSA, used to be called NCLB, ESEA, various permutations over the year, Title I, Title II, 23, Perkins. We have seen a reduction year over year by $272,000, a significant reduction. No debt service, I don't imagine you'll be seeing that ever again, but then again, I can't predict. At least in the near future, we will not be seeing that. Finally, the total budget has been reduced by $470,625, or 1.8% year over year. So this is what our budget was that we presented to the board and the community last year, and this is what it is now, demonstrating that we've reduced by almost $500,000, reduced spending by almost $500,000 in spite of increasing costs across the board. All right, here, this is very confusing. There's a lot of numbers, and they tell me when you do presentations, don't make busy stuff like this. And so I'm just going to go through it. General fund, increase of the tax levy by $718,000 or 3.9%. I'm not going to try to shy away from that. I'm acknowledging 3.9% is higher than we would like. We recognize that the community can only bear the weight of so much, and I understand that. I'm trying to demonstrate, however, that it is a shift, that as we continue to control and reduce spending more because of the state and federal funding, more burden is placed on the local community, in this instance 3.9%. I could go into a lot of things about how the state funded this. It would be boring and long, and I might miss a dollar or two. Nevertheless, they shifted the manner in which they're funding districts this year and said, hey, we're going to give you all this money. they're not necessarily giving us money from the state, they're giving you the ability to exceed the 2.0% tax levy requirement by using local funds. So the state says, we're going to fund you, but you got to take it from your local community. You don't have to go out to referendum. You could, as a matter of fact, we could have gone to approximately 7.7%, according to what the state said. Of course, if that's too much, we would not do that. It is objectionable. Some of you are saying, but didn't you do that a few years ago? Yes, we did. I'll acknowledge that as well. So, we went with 3.9 because we must sustain the facilities and the student experience, which is why we're all here. All right, Montague tuition is listed. Thank God for our brothers over the hill. They have been firmly institutionalized into our community, and they are part of the character and the essence of who we are as a community, and they have made us a better place. Tuition other, budgeted fund balance. This is money left over at the end of the year. Someone would say, that's a lot of money. Well, when you're dealing with $26 million, when you come in at 504, you're thinking to yourself, hang on, baby, we may not make payroll in June. And you're thinking that's $504,000. But what it does is that it takes a while for that to bear out over time. And so if you'll go to certain places, that fund balance in the past, last year we made sure that it was $1 million. Someone could say, well, you overtaxed the community. No, what we did was we continued to lower the general fund, but we do not make fiscally responsible decisions on April 28th only. Every single day we determine whether an expenditure is viable, necessary, or efficient, even if it's been budgeted. That's why there are times when I will deny an expenditure and someone says, but it's in my budget. Yeah, that applied on April 28th. It does not apply in the future because we still have to manage scarce resources throughout the year so that we can play the long game with budgeting. All right, sorry, being long-winded here. School choice dropped by 13%. Other revenue semi-dropped. State aid went up by 59%. What are you crying about, Scott? That's an increase of 1.71%. Yes, but we also saw, as I suggested in the previous, that the special revenue fund 20 went down by 45.7%, all of which leads to spending reduction of $470,000 or 1.8% year over year. Again, tax levy up 3.9%, spending down 1.8%. All right, another chart. We all love charts. State aid, tax levy, total general fund. So what we're looking at here is, over a course of time, a longitudinal study. We've lost state aid in the last 13 years of $3.3 million, an average of $254,000 a year. The tax levy has gone up by 3.26. See, look at this. The tax levy has gone up less than the state aid has been reduced. And so the state aid reductions every year are $254,000. Our tax levy has gone up by $251,000. That means we've lowered spending, not increased, to address this. All right, and again, I understand the tax levy is going up 3.9%. We are managing, making very difficult, disciplined decisions to ensure the viability of the district for our students and our community. And again, the general fund, over that time, has dropped by 1.06%, while the tax levy, on average over 13 years, has gone up by 1.55%. As a matter of fact, if we had gone to 2% each year, irrespective of the year, then we had a big increase. If we had gone up 2% every single year for the last 13 years, the tax levy would be $1.1 million higher than it is right now. And that's just 1 year. So on the bottom, the small print, it's all small to me. All right, this excludes $3.8 million in Sussex Tech tuition, an increase of $322,000 annually. Why do I put that up there? Well, Scott, that's been going on for 15 years. Why do you put it up? Because no one ever talks about it. It did not exist in Sussex County for years. I'm not contending with it. I'm not against or. I'm just explaining this as a matter of course. That formerly this expenditure did not exist. And $322,000 over the last 13 years has gone to Sussex Tech tuition, where otherwise it would have went to High Point students. I know they're in our district, that's why we're paying for them. Nevertheless, this is expenditure that did not exist 15 years ago. So, if you add state aid reductions over the last 13 years of $3.3 million, Sussex Tech costs of $3.8, you have a combined impact of $7.1 million that is going against the local taxpayer that no one discusses because you get in the weeds too much, as some of you are feeling right now, thinking, oh my gosh, you're in the weeds. I'm trying to paint a picture as to where we are and why we're here. All right, here's just an example of those 13 years. As you can see, the red is where we reduced below the tax level, reduced year over year, and then over here is where we increased. Again, if we had, the average is 1.55% over that 13 years. Again, the purpose here is to be good stewards. Every decision in this budget reflects careful stewardship of public resources. Every decision has been done with discipline and purpose. We do not reduce programs. We do not reduce staff for the purpose of reducing staff to make the budget. We do not shift the burden in a way that would compromise the student experience or student opportunities. So we fund the things that matter most in the most efficient and effective manner. It is our hope to return to a below 2% or 2% budget next year, although that remains to be seen. Any questions? Yes?
Why did the semi-billing go down?
That's just the number that they had audited for us this year. Whether we, last year, perhaps, were inefficient in the manner in which we audited our expenditures, we will, if that's the case, we will see an increase next year. And that's my responsibility, irrespective of other forces. And so there's the possibility that the manner in which we applied for semi was not as thorough as it otherwise should have been. And we would therefore see it. So in a year from now, if that number increases, you can remind me, and I will tell you that that was the reason. I'm not certain that that's the reason, but I'm allowing for that as the likely reason.
Do we have any inkling of where other schools are? Some of them have already released their numbers.
I don't know specifically, nor would I speak specifically, but I think that many in the area might be, there's a possibility they'll be higher than 3.9%. I will not speak definitively, but there's a possibility. Again, the county, other than one district in general, has been reduced painfully over the last 8-9 years. And it's been a challenge. And continuity has been the focus. Continuity, efficiency, and maintaining the standards that this district requires and demands and deserves has been our purpose, and I'm confident that we have maintained that over the years. All right. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate it.
Next we have our student council representative, George Oriana, speaker. The House will give us an update on the student council. Probably could have let you go on first, George, but maybe that was interesting for you.
Good evening, everybody. Just here once again to speak about what has happened so far in April, where we had actually celebrated Earth Day and Arbor Day Wednesday last week and Friday last week, where students were able to plant tomato, marigold, or zinnia seeds during lunch. There were also coloring pages and a Green Scene Spirit Week, where last Wednesday we wore green for Earth Day, where Thursday was also a reuse, recycle, rewear day, where students wore thrifted items. And on Friday, it was an outdoor adventure day where students were dressed for hiking, camping, or the beach. For Assistant Principal Appreciation Week, Tyler Morrow interviewed Mrs. Sarno and Mr. Emma asking them would you rather questions, with a student from Media Tech filming it, and so the video is available on social media pages, especially YouTube. Student council members also made cards and a healthy snack basket in order to form a gift for them as well. For the month of May, for the future, our character word of the month is compassion, and the presentation for the character word will be made on Friday. During the month of May, there will also be voting for council officers across each individual level, except the senior class, of course, as well as for the larger student council as a whole. The class of 2026 will also have a fun day on May 26th with canvas painting craft during lunch. And there will also be more planning of Teacher Appreciation Week. For the senior class of 2026 specifically, there is also Senior Decision Day on Friday, May 1st as well, for college, career, and military decisions. And there will be an ice cream party during lunch for all seniors. The dinner cruise is also on May 27th, and further in the future, on June 5th, there is the Great Adventure Trip planned. For the junior class of 2027, they have collected money for the prom, which is going to be on Friday, May 22nd at the mansion at Mountain Lakes. And they also are working on creating a movie night further in the future for June outside on the football field. They're also creating senior shirts to sell next month, and as I previously mentioned, each individual class except for the senior class are voting for class officers in May as well. But apart from that, that is all I have for you this evening.
Thank you, sir. Next, our HPA President Elizabeth Sunda. Welcome.
I feel like I should apologize for my casual attire. We had our track meet today, so good evening. I wanted to start with kind of piggybacking off of George. We also have elections next month for HBA, for my position, as well as our treasurer, Christina DiMatteo. So I just wanted to thank you because it has been an absolute privilege of working alongside with everybody that's in here. So I do hope to continue as the president of HBA. So this isn't me saying that I'm not. I just wanted to say thank you. So far it's been such a great year. I also wanted to thank Dr. Ripley for the meetings that I have been in with him. He truly does treat everyone here with dignity and respect, and I know he preaches that often, but it has been, I know you don't get to see it behind closed doors, and I have gotten to see that with our admin, so I just wanted to point that out. So hopefully I'll be continuing on for the next 2 years, but we'll do elections next month, so that's kind of where we are as an executive team. Speaking of Christina DiMatteo, as our treasurer, she put on a trip for our staff to go to see Hamilton on Broadway, so we did that last Saturday. So we had a nice turnout, and that was awesome. And then she also, because we were talking about how I guess they had fun when it used to be the Mets trip, and sorry, but I'm a Yankees fan, and I know we have some admin who are Mets fans, so I said, well, how about if we got a game to go to that was a Yankees-Mets game, and then maybe more people would go. So she just booked this week for a trip on September 13th. It is a Mets-Yankees game, so that'll be in the works come fall. And we did win down on the track, if you were wondering. So the boys won 95-45, and the girls was 83-57. We had 17 seniors, so we celebrated our senior day. So thank you to our athletic program too, Mr. Dexter. He arranges for us to have flowers and posters and banners and acknowledge the work. This truly coming back as a head coach this season too, our seniors have been such a huge part of setting the standard, and they have led with such dignity as well. We have had zero drama on the track team, so it's been so nice for our underclassmen to see, and we are trying to really build that program up. The girls team has doubled since last year in size, so I'm happy about that. So I just wanted to thank Mr. Dexter for his support. Mr. Perry was down there, and he gets to, introduce them, and the seniors were walked in with their parents as well as the unified team, so that was there as well with our seniors and their parents. Anyway, so that's a big all I have. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. John Talme, Principal's Report.
I forgot something, so what is? No, I'm saying if I did, I know you'll fill in my, if I missed something. I can't
Good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody again. Just wanted to go over a few things. We have a lot of activities that you heard from Student Council, a lot going on this time of the year, and it's a great thing, and a lot of great things that are happening. Just want to talk about some things that we've had in the last month or so, and some things that are to come. We had our National Honor Society induction ceremony. We talked about that a little bit last month. We do all of our honor societies together, our NHS as well as all of our satellite honor societies. So just want to run through the list of advisors, Mr. Minor, Mrs. Emma, Ms. Carol Matthews, Mr. Baker, Mr. Slanian, Ms. Yacarino, Mrs. Regal, Mrs. Loyola, Mr. DeCarlo, and Mrs. Sheenice. We're all part of that honor society, and they kind of facilitate that. What's great about our ceremony, which we've transitioned over the last 2 or 3 years, is the students are the ones that are running the show. So very few adults are actually speaking on the evening of. It's all a script. Thanks to the help of Mr. Trellick, Mr. McCarthy, and many others, and the students are the ones that are delivering the message throughout the night. So that's a pretty cool thing to be able to sit there and honor that. I had to stand up a couple times to acknowledge some pledges. Beyond that, they're just doing their thing. So really proud to see our students run that, over 100 students that were recognized and inducted into different ceremonies, many of them into 2, 3, or 4 societies for that evening. A couple things that are coming up this next month, as May starts on the 1st, as George said, College Career Military Decision Day is on Friday. We've tried to brand that in the last couple of years and make it very broad. As you know, many of us, when we went to school, it was Decision Day for college, and that was it. That's not the case, and hasn't been the case for several years, right? When we celebrate everybody's path and everybody's journey, and everybody's path and everybody's journey is different. So we want to make sure we get everybody involved with that. Some are going right into apprenticeships, some are going right into unions, some are going to just straight to work, some are going to the military, some are going to 2-year schools, some are going to 4-year schools, some don't know. Right? And all that is really important for us to honor and recognize. So we're looking forward to that. That is going to be led by our senior class and also by the guidance department. Some fun activities for staff as well. May 18th through May 22nd is going to be a Mental Health Awareness Week. We have an organizational club called Bring Change to Mind. It's a mental health awareness program. It's a volunteer program that Ms. Cheyenne Ficario, Ms. Ficario Pagan run and advise. It's really grown a lot this year, and we have a good group of students that's really leading a lot of activities. So they're constantly coming to me and say, "Mr. Talme, can we do this?" And I'm like, "Okay, how do we do it?" That's always going to be my answer. Pretty much going to be yes. How do we figure it out? And how do we make it happen? So we're happy about them. Again, doing that. That's kind of post the AP exam week, and that's a good time to have a lot of those things that are coming up. Senior Scholarship Dinner is on the 20th at 6 p.m. Many of you like to attend that as well. Just talk to Dr. Ripley about how that works. Red Tail Lodge, beautiful night. There'll be over 300 people in the room. And again, looking forward to just a fantastic celebration of our seniors on that evening. And without the community donors that we have that night, I don't know how many we're going to have yet, because we're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. We wouldn't be able to have that evening. So we're looking forward to that event as well. The problem, as George talked about, on the 22nd, Senior Dinner Cruise on the 27th, we have over 150 seniors going. It's like 80%, 85% of our entire class. So that's a fantastic thing. We're hoping and praying for good weather that night, because if it's great weather, it's the best trip I think that we can take. Maybe next to Whale Watch, but it's a really, really cool trip. And then the senior trip is the 5th, and that's going down to Great Adventure during the day. Wish me luck on roller coasters. We'll see how that goes. If you were in the media center, were you in the media center previously? So you had a little bit of a sneak preview. I told you about last week our Hispanic Heritage Month Museum and our World Heritage Days. So you had a little bit of chance. It's kind of doesn't make as much sense sitting there looking at it, but you can see that there's a lot of things happening in the museum and also in the media center. That was all led by our Library Outreach Society students, Mrs. Aludo, Ms. Velez, and a couple other teachers that got behind it. Last year we did Black History Museum. That was their first, and again, all student-led. And they said we want to do something each year to recognize a particular culture, right, a defined area. And we think that's important versus trying to do something small. Each year we want to bring something really big like that in. So if you didn't see them, there's a little, after you created this, Ms. Velez, one of our English special ed teachers created this. This is as you walk in, and it's like a roadmap to what's happening. all the activities that happen, again, all student-led. So there's a Guess Who, there's Hispanic athlete trivia, there's Latinx fashion, there's a big setup in the middle that you probably saw for our fashion marketing program, hidden figures of history, immigration history, Talavera tiles are up top where the students are painting tiles. Like if you walk this hallway up here, I'll go up to the left of the ramp, you'll see those butterflies on a Holocaust Memorial hallway. That was from last year's museum as well. There's a whole Latin jazz. There's a Locari de Marzo, Hispanic poets, blackout poetry, which I actually participated in. It's a really cool type of activity. You're basically given a piece of paper from a book, and you create your own poetry using a black marker. And just creating it. It's really, really fun. I had no idea what I was doing, but Ms. Velez and a couple of students encouraged me. I didn't do too bad, so I felt like I got a C, so I was happy with that. The Latinx refrigerator poetry, another really cool thing, just really creative ideas from the students where they take a Post-it note, you put it on whiteboards, and you create your own poetry, and there's like 5 stations of Post-its, and it just gets reset each time. There's fingerprinting. Ms. Sutton's class had a fingerprinting station, which I saw. I'm very happy with that, going back to my own criminal justice days. That was a fun activity over in the corner. There's a painting activity. One of our ESL students, from Mr. Russell, actually had a market, Mercado. So if you look into the Annex or into the media center, and that kind of, it looks like there's a little bit of alley in the back. That was all like a farmer's market. If you go back there, you'll see all types of things, fruits and vegetables created. You'll see fabrics, music. Again, that was through our ESL program, and Mr. Russell did that. And Miguel is one of our ESL students, walking through the whole thing today. And he's from Mexico City originally, so it's really cool to hear from him and him show me what it was like to go through an actual market. So that was really fun as well. They had some painting stations and artwork as well. Just really proud of our students. There's 2 more days of that, tomorrow and also on Thursday. But again, it was facilitated by teachers, but led by students, and nothing better than that overall. So just wanted to say thank you to them. Also, thank you to Jess Cardinal for leading our Every 15 Minutes program, and also Ms. Pagan for assisting that. That was a very tough, sensitive event last week, but very impactful. A lot of tears and a lot of understanding what that means. Just want to say thank you to them. It's a big project that they started planning back in September in terms of that aspect of it. Also, thank you to Mrs. Holder, our nurse, because she's working with Mr. Gonzalez's construction manufacturing students, Zach Leto, Michelle Torres, and Grant Pinkowski, and they are putting a little free library over, if you're walking out there all the way to where we have like a clothesbin towards the soccer field, up the steps up there between the 2 fields. A little free library is going to be constructed there, designed by our construction manufacturing students, built by them, and the building ground is going to help put it up. And that's going to just be a nice, great thing. Again, we have one in the hallway here. We wanted to get one that was outside. Bring a book, drop off a book, grab a book. Again, that was a Soldiers project, and I'm really happy with that. Got the time to spend with Dr. Ripley last week with Tyler Morrow, who was our superintendent roundtable student of the year. Fantastic time to sit with students from all over the county, 8th grade and seniors. There are some 6th graders there as well, if it's a K to 6th graders, but just a really nice time. So thank you, Dr. Ripley, for allowing me to participate in that, and thank you for continuing to do that. It's just a great thing to see the students in that environment and sitting with other students as well. In the same week, we also had Erica Alcaswani. She was recognized for the Sussex County Association for Counselors for the Caring Award. And I think my favorite award for the entire year is only seniors, and then they do an 8th grade ceremony as well this week, and that's only 1 student from each high school that's chosen. And it represents everything that you want represented by your student body, right? Caring, compassion, kind, and just being that person, that genuine person. Sarah also will be our first, that we have memory of and knowledge of, our first student to graduate high school and get our associate degree graduation in the same year. So in May she'll be graduating from SEC with an associate degree, full associate degree, and also from high school. We have many students graduate with a lot of concurrent enrollment, a lot of AP credits, but the first official degree, she's pretty quiet about it, but we like to shout that out whenever we can. Also, our music program continues to shine. Brady Calaruso, Gabby Delia, Climax, Grace McAvoy just recently got accepted to the All-State Treble course, a very elite course, and they'll be performing next February in Atlantic City and also in the NJ PAC as well. Last but not least, Dr. Ripley said Bus Appreciation, Driver Appreciation Day today. Very thankful for them every day. Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. We appreciate them all the time, but we want to make sure we do a special shout out. So next week we'll do some fun activities, student council and administration, to make sure we shout them out, as well as in the middle of that is our School Nurse Appreciation Week, and we're very thankful and blessed by Mrs. Holt every day. Shifting gears to athletics, if that's okay, Mr. Dunn. From Mr. Dexter's office, We had Jaron Marchus, one of our outstanding student athletes. He's a fantastic athlete, one of the best that we've ever had walking the hallways, but he's a student and a leader first. He was honored at the Park Avenue Club as a National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete. That was a great thing to have him be recognized and represent High Point. We also have coming up, High Point hosts the following charity events. We have the Doc Ayers Classic, that's sponsored by the baseball and softball teams on May 18th. Get a chance to play in that, some fun, but again, remembering one of the best in my opinion. Don't want to get too many allergies, but Doc was my original coach as a freshman when I was here a while ago, a few years ago, and he was, in my opinion, the best coach in any sport, Little League right up to college I've ever had in my entire life. He was a semi-professional baseball player, and the baseball and softball team honor him and doing this classic every year. Just a really great, again, community event, a lot of fun. We also honored Grace Myers, one of our senior softball players. I see her picture flipping in the back behind you. She was our NJSIA Scholar Athlete. She's going to be honored at the Pines Manor down in banquet down May 17th. And again, it's a female student athlete, and Grace, if you don't know Grace, she just recorded our 500 strikeout. I think she's already almost at 600 now. And again, the student that you want to be in your building every single day. She's just a fantastic person overall. And the first spring athletes of the week, as we are rocking and rolling, was Jalen Soto for lacrosse, Gabby Vega for track, and AJ Hamilton, who's talking about both of them for track. Again, great representatives of our school district every single day. So with that,
Thank you,
your
sir.
questions?
Yeah.
Mr. Talman, I know you
Yes.
mentioned about the every 15 minutes program.
Yes.
Do you have any idea how long we've been conducting that?
How long have we conducted this? I think it would be our third, so we do it every 2 years because we rotate. Usually this is a third. Thinking my memory back, could be our fourth cycle of every 15 minutes. The mock accident we've been doing for
Oh, right.
decades. But the mock accident then developed into this larger program. So the mock accident we've been doing since I was here, and that was a few years ago. And then in the last probably 10-year window or so is when every 15 minutes program kind of grew out of that.
I just want to mention, I've seen and I've had people approach me about, as parents, the experience that they go through. And whether it was parents of students this year or parents remembering when their students went through it in previous cycles, how moving it is and how, I guess, effective. And that's what we hope for, right?
Yeah.
Is that it makes a difference. And, to everybody that's involved in that, what an awesome thing. We should be very proud of that.
Yeah, Impact Just One is what you're hoping for, right? If you do that Impact Just One, you hope that's much more than that. But again, seeing the students knew the script, they knew what was happening and what was going to be part of it when they were going through it. But then when they were in the classrooms, and we talked about this actually too as a student group today, when they're in the classrooms, they wrote their obituaries, which could be a creative writing assignment. Writing, right, is sometimes hard. But then you're hearing your obituary read in the classroom in front of your peers, and all of a sudden, all kinds of emotions are going through your head. So there's definitely a piece that raises that bar up with those pieces, and then the parent piece, Mr. Dunn, as you said, that's we had many parents in tears as we were just in the media center last week writing those letters to each other. And again, that impact, and I've had parents come back to me too, like you said, many years later and say, you know, let's still remember that day. Never want to have it happen, but they remember that day.
And it is on...
Yes, it is on YouTube, yep. It's a final edits on that, so it's on our YouTube channel. It's about, you know, the overall thing. You don't see the assembly part because that's not video, that's not recorded, but everything up leading into that is. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. If anyone has the opportunity to go to the scholarship dinner, it really is a demonstration of excellence. The manner in which it's run by Mr. Talman, our staff, is done. Everything is done with excellence. It is just a professionally well-run experience, and something that brings the community together. It's not just a High Point; it's a High Point community where former students, where people from the community come together, and it really is a positive, pro-High Point family community feel that really is an exceptional evening. So thank you for the manner in which that's run.
If in the future we're able to spread those dates to the sending districts, because I'm not able to go because there's a conflict, so if maybe we could work a little bit closer to try to let them know, so they might be able to schedule around that.
Yes, ma'am. No, I understand, I appreciate that. We are actually quite fastidious in trying to make sure that any event that we have, as a matter of fact, we just moved. What event did we just?
Senior awards.
We moved our senior awards to accommodate another, and we know that we have four sending districts that we want to ensure that we have Loctite coordination with. There are moments when that is an impossibility, but I assure you that Mr. Talamay and our staff work diligently to ensure that things are, but we can certainly keep that in mind, so thank you.
Mr. Seamus Campbell.
Good evening.
Curriculum and instruction.
What a school. I mean, the last 10 minutes hearing it from George and Liz and Mr. Talamay, amazing stuff going on. And every day, this time of year is so busy. It's jam-packed with so much stuff. None of it, however, can happen if we aren't safe. And we live in a scary, dangerous time. And there are a handful of things. I believe Dr. Ripley spoke about the legacy of our facility. And I believe the legacy of our safety and security is elite and arguably the best in the state of New Jersey. On April 16th, my colleague, Mr. James Rice, who's here, where'd he go? Wait a minute.
He's doing a security ball.
This is his big moment. I can't believe it. Mr. Rice goes to bed every night thinking about the safety and wellness of our students, and he wakes up every morning with that on his mind. He is meticulous. And on April 16th, after months of planning, he executed an incredibly challenging and important safety and security drill for our entire school community. When Mr. Talamay and Mr. Rice have our security drills, they bring in state police, they bring in detectives, they bring in sheriff's officers, and every single one of them, to a man and to a woman, say there is no school that does this. It's unsolicited, it is consistent, so we're exceptional. That was really hard to prepare for the unexpected. We've all prepared the security drills where the bell goes off in the middle of a class, we evacuate for a fire. We know that, it's down, it's broken. We don't know necessarily how to respond to a crisis before school, after school, etc. And so that drill took a tremendous amount of time, and we're very thankful for him and all he does for the school. Since we're going around the room, I wanted to congratulate my friend and colleague, Ms. Kathy Colbush, for helping Dr. Ripley carrying out her first budget that she played a key role in. But also the office that she works with, I think she would not be the first business administrator to say that they're spectacular. So it's a great place to work, and the team atmosphere in that office is very, very supportive. It was a lot of work, so I know that she'll get some rest and some good sleep, so thank you to that entire team. Mr. Talamay and I actually danced and sang together, but I won't get too far into that. We were in observing a lesson together in our choir room and had an amazing experience with our staff and students. I just want to talk about one thing in particular tonight, and that is the field trips that we provide for our students here at High Point. Mr. Talamay mentioned that last week we inducted more than 100 students, 100 of our best and brightest, into honor societies. And those that got inducted into the National Honor Society had a little more attention paid to them. And what was shared with the community was two things. Who was the educator that impacted you the most? And what is your most memorable, favorite high school experience? And so for my 25 colleagues who were invited and got to sit in the audience and be recognized as the person who was chosen as that educator that really shaped them, that was a moving experience. But then to hear each and every one talk about what do these exceedingly experienced and successful students remember, perhaps more than half of them said field trips. And probably 40% of them said the whale watching trip. That's why I was joking, I was going around the room. It was striking. So I want to thank Ms. Liz Sunda, the science department, and all the work they put into that. These experiences are the ones that they remember 40 years from now. And we have another field trip on the agenda tonight to go to New York City. And that is a trip that Mr. Kapler is organizing to take students up onto an observation platform of a structure known as the Torch It's going to be one of the most recognizable and tallest structures in the New York City skyline, and our students will be at the very top of it. I mentioned those 2 trips for the following reason. The National Honor Society students have had a lot of experiences, and they're going to go to the moon and back. But we are an all-purpose high school that serves the entire community, and there are children that come to us who have never been to New York City, and they have never seen the ocean. And we do keep that in mind when we plan and fund these trips, that it is to enrich, and it is also to provide experiences that would otherwise not be possible for many of our students. Tonight is budget night, so I also want to point out that perhaps 50% approximately of the funds that we allocate towards these trips do come from grants. And so we're very creative with the enrichment money we get from all of our grants to make them available without further burden to the taxpayer. And one last thing. This afternoon, Dr. Ripley, Mr. Talamay, and I were on a vendor call with a company called Groovy Education that is exceptional in training faculty groups on the whole on AI. It's a district goal this year. We took some really positive steps in discussing and building an internal conversation about AI and turnkeying some best practices. We want to be even better next year, and our hope is that we can come out of the gate in September with a school-wide, staff-wide comprehensive training that will be a springboard. That common experience and those common resources will build collaboration that will make next year one where we advance our goal. Our first goal is staff competence and comfort and expertise. Our ultimate goal, of course, is student expertise. So we're excited to be moving along with PD in the area of AI. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there's one note under other business, and this is for everyone in the public, especially those anonymous posters to Facebook, asking when the graduation date for the class of 2026 is. It is officially confirmed for Friday, June 19th, 2026, beginning at 6 p.m. With that, we move on to action items, curriculum, instruction, and technology.
Yes. Okay, I'll be moving 10 items. First 4 is just informational. Faculty attendance rate for March is 94.4. Student attendance for March is 93.1. The suspension for report is attached, as is we have that we have to approve the HIP, harassment, discrimination, and bullying reports for March 25th to 28th. Item 5 is approving the listed field trips. Number 6 is approving professional development activities. Number 7 is a revised calendar yet again. So I think I've had a revised calendar every time I've had to present so far, but I think maybe next month I won't. This one's just about the exam schedule. Number 8 is voter registration law annual statement of assurance. We have to approve that. Number 9 is approving the concurrent enrollment memorandum for the College of New Jersey. And number 10 is the updated local education agency guidance for virtual or remote instruction plans, which is attached. So I am moving those. Can I have a second?
Second.
Does anybody have any questions or comments on any of those issues? No, I guess we can have a roll call, please.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Stackus?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
That was curriculum instruction. Personnel, Mrs. Long.
I'd like to move items 1 through 5 together. Item 1 is a recommendation by the superintendent to approve Ms. Chu as a Spanish teacher as a BA Step 11 on the 26-27 salary guide, pending the required paperwork. Number 2, recommended the list as attached of the 6th period assignments at a per diem rate of $69.90 effective April 13th to on or about May 13th, or when a permanent teacher is released back to work by a doctor. Number 3, the recommendation to approve Ms. Kolbush as the Business Administrator Board Secretary for the 26-27 school year, salary of $135. Number 4, recommended by the superintendent to approve the 26-27 staffing and salaries for certified and non-certificated staff members as listed in the attachment. And number 5, recommended by the superintendent that the board accepts with regret the retirement notification of Arthur Mina, science teacher, effective July 1st. Discussion? Oh, need a second?
Second.
Make a motion, second? Any questions or discussion?
Good luck to Mr. Mina and his family in the future.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
I will move items 1 through 4 under extracurricular. 1 is a recommendation to accept the resignation notification from William Nahan as the assistant basketball coach effective immediately. Item 2 is a recommendation to approve Mike DeVore and Alex Heilman as volunteer football coaches for the remainder of the current school year. Item 3 is a recommendation to accept the resignation from William Smith as assistant football coach effective June 30th, 2026. And item 4 is a recommendation to approve the dates listed below for physicals to be formed by the school doctor for the upcoming school year. I will make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments on any of those items?
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
We have no policy negotiations or buildings and grounds action items, so if I may, I'll move on to finance and move first items 1 through 5 together. 1 is a recommendation to accept the report of the board secretary, business administrator for March 2026. Item 2 is a recommendation to accept the report of the treasurer for the same month. Item 3 is a recommendation to approve the report of transfers and minimum expense transfer report for the same month. Item 4 is a recommendation to approve for payment the attached schedule of audited bills dated April 28th, 2026. And item 5 is a recommendation to accept the adult education agency account, athletic account, cafeteria account, construction account, principals petty cash account, scholarship account, school store, and student activities reconciliations for March 2026. I make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments, discussion?
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, that brings us to item 6, which spans about 3 pages of our agenda. I'm going to try to shorten this. Be it resolved that the board approves the adoption of the proposed school budget for the 2026-2020 school year as follows. First item is here is the use of a healthcare adjustment, noting that the software, the budget software that the NJSA subsection allows us to use an amount of $350,130 for healthcare costs. Travel and related expense reimbursement is the next section. It basically allows a maximum of $75,000 maximum travel expense for the current school year, of which $4,482 has been expended to date. And then the larger, more important section, the adoption of the proposed budget. Following on page 12, the table lists all the important numbers. Be it resolved that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education approves the levy of general fund taxes for the proposed 2026-2027 school budget to be $19,146,552. This budget addresses health and safety issues related to facility, capital spending, student-centered items, and program integrity. Be it further resolved that the included in the general fund appropriations is $31,098 for deposit into the Board of Education's approved capital reserve account for future funding of capital projects, and represents expenditures for construction elements or projects that are in addition to the facility's efficient standards necessary to achieve New Jersey student learning standards, and to advertise said proposed budget in the New Jersey Herald in accordance with the form suggested by the State Department of Education according to law, and post proposed budget on our website. So, I will make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
And ask if there is any discussion or comments would like to be made about this budget. I will make a couple brief ones. Not so much for the rest of my board, which I sometimes lecture when it comes to the budget, but for the public. Please realize our budget includes no debt service. We are not in this budget, nor have we in at least a decade, used public funds to pay interest on money that we have borrowed. So that is important. We try to maintain that, and hopefully we can moving forward. We as board members are sensitive to the burden that is felt by our taxpaying community. And we understand that when it comes time to the budget, there's often a lot of anger that is directed towards school districts, particularly those in the rural areas of the state where we've been on the consistent losing end of the state aid formula. And I would just suggest that that anger is sometimes misplaced, because we have pinched every penny that we can and really don't have anywhere else to go. The amount of state aid, as Dr. Ripley presented earlier, that High Point has lost in the last decade plus is over $3 million. The only other place we can go for that money is to our taxpayers. If the public would like to do something about that, I'd suggest that they approach those that represent us at the state level, or with their vote, perhaps. We can't do much more here. We have to maintain what we're doing with the school. I'm very appreciative that we have now local representatives in Trenton that have taken up the issue and appear to be trying to make some changes. For High Point, that's about a decade too late. Perhaps it will have some bring some to fruition. We all want the state aid formula changed, and most of us in the rural areas of the state know how painful it's been. So that's my soapbox. With that, if there are no other comments, we can go to a vote.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, we do have a few other items under finance to continue with. Some of these I'm going to move separately. Item 7, whereas the High Point Regional High School did meet or exceed the fiscal year 2025 Special Education Medicaid Initiative, otherwise known as SEMI, parental consent participation requirements of 90% as reported in our fiscal year 2025 performance recap. And whereas the High Point Regional High School did not meet or exceed the fiscal year 2025 Special Education Medicaid Initiative budgeted reimbursement revenue requirement, achieving less than 100% of the projected reimbursement. Now therefore be it resolved that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education in the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey hereby approves the fiscal year 27 semi-corrective action plan for submission as part of our fiscal year 2027 budget. I'll make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? I believe that was a required notice. Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Lundberg?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. The reason I like to move some of these separately is particularly like number 8 is a recommendation that the Board of Education acknowledges and greatly accepts a donation from Thor Labs, Alex Cable listed as the principal there, in the amount of $2,500 to support the recent hosting of the High Point Wallkill Valley STEM League event for students in our collective ascending districts. So I'd like to make that motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
for that.
that's why I'd like to move it separately so that we can thank those that graciously donate to our Board of Education and the events that we sponsor. Roll call, please.
Okay. Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Lundberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
I'll move 9 and 10 together. 9 is a recommendation to accept, to approve the application and eventually accept grant funding prepared and submitted by Kathy Kolbush from George L. Old Jr. Trust. The application is seeking up to $20,000 to modernize our humanities, world language, and arts programs for students. And item 10 is a recommendation that board, upon recommendation of superintendent consultation with school business administrator, approves the FSMC renewal year 2 with Mascios Food Service Management Company for the 2026-2027 school year as listed. I will make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments, discussion? No? Okay.
I'm sorry, who made the second?
I did.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Lundberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Item 11, I will move separately, is a recommendation that the Board of Education approves acceptance of a grant award in the amount of $68,700 from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. Mr. Chris Dexter secured this funding, which will support projects to improve the infrastructure and technology components such as fencing, field improvements, and power upgrades to the press box and scoreboard. I will make that motion. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? That's a big one. Thank you, Mr. Dexter.
Thank you, Mr. Dexter.
That'll be, well, it's well needed
The
too.
listed projects may not be all inclusive of how we might expend that money.
Next. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stackis?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Lundberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
I think I can move 12, 13, and 14 together. 12 is a recommendation to grant permission to the High Point Wrestling Camp to host the non-affiliated co-ed camp grades K through 8, which will run June 22nd through June 26th, as listed. Item 13 is a recommendation to approve a resolution, basically formally affirms and accepts $1,188.78 grant award from the School Lead Filters Program. for acquisition and installation of filtered bottle filling stations and filtered faucets. And item 14 is a recommendation to approve and authorize the execution of the following tuition contracts between High Point Regional Receiving and the following districts as the sending districts as listed. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments?
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Stackus?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Anybody want to present transportation?
I can do that.
Okay, thanks. Mrs. Wise.
I'm going to group 1 through 6 together. So transportation is recommended that the board approves and authorizes the execution of the following joint transportation agreement for the 25-26 school year. First one is High Point with Wallkill Valley. Number 2 is with Montclair State University. Number 3, Coach America is with various locations and near West Vermont, Massachusetts. Number 4 is for Liberty Landing Marina. Number 5 is for Shepherd Preparatory School. Is there a number 6?
No.
Oh, it's only 5? Okay.
It said 6 there.
Oh, thank you. And then I will make a motion, and I need a second.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Stackus?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. it concludes
Thank you for the allocation regarding number 4. It's very much appreciated. It does enhance the student experience considerably, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you.
That concludes our action items. We have no correspondence I'm aware of. Miscellaneous. Somebody already mentioned the Scholarship Awards dinner a couple times. There is a Sussex County School Board's meeting next Thursday where the Teacher of the Year is recognized, and there's some other recognitions and awards. If
Mr.
anybody's
Dunn
interested.
will be recognized prominently for his years of service, and just so everyone's aware. Sorry, I didn't know.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Is that the one you're being,
Yeah.
for the training?
Uh,
What it said in the?
Yeah, I think so, for being a...
Certified board
Yes.
leader.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, PD.
You know, oftentimes, there's very little recognition or appreciation for the public servant who does so without recompense. And the fact that you all come here and spend the time and commitment to be a part of this is laudable and an incredible civic duty. And what Mr. Dunn has demonstrated over the length of time that he has is something about which our community should be incredibly appreciative and proud. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all. I wasn't looking for that. With that, I'll open our public comments, the second section of the evening. Same rules apply. Please state your name and address. Any virtual comments come in during the course of the meeting? No? Any comments in the room? May I have a motion to close public comments?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any non-committee board member reports or comments otherwise?
I would say following Mr. Campbell's comments regarding security, he's here. So thank you very much.
Sorry, I had to step out of full to a problem, so I apologize.
In your absence, we were just saying on April 16th, we had one of the most impactful and meaningful drills. It took weeks and weeks to plan, and that the sheriff, the state police, and local law enforcement laud us every single time, sincerely and unsolicited, for being second to none in the safety that we provide. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for reminding us. If there are no other,
I'd like to make a comment. As I now approach 6 years of my oldest out of high school and 3 of my youngest out of high school, I'm very proud to sit on this board because I see how my children were prepared for the adventure of college and how they have succeeded through the adventure of college. And that truly could not have happened without the fantastic educators that we have in this high school, in the sending districts, because I am amazed at what they are achieving. I'm getting a cry. And that was because you were part of my village. So I thank you.
Thank you.
with that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?